Hey Aquarius, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. This is your December 2016 forecast. I'm going to do some astrology placements to begin with. Then I'm going to pull some tarot cards and oracle cards for you. And finally, I'll tell you how I see the story as it's playing out. This is a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, and Rising. Some people say it also resonates with their moon, but that's deeper astrology stuff. So, Aquarius, why don't you sit a spell so we can talk about the stars? On the 2nd or 3rd of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, we have Mercury moving into your 12th house. Mercury is the planet of thought, communication, and movement, and the 12th house is the house of dreams. It's the house of secrets. It's the house of karma and repression. It's also the house of limitations and sometimes the house of self-undoing. It's also the house of secrets. Secret enemies, secrets that you keep from others, and secrets that you keep from yourself, like repression. So, you may be having pretty vivid dreams, or you may be getting a lot of information from your dreams, not understanding what's going on in your dreams. You may be really wanting to understand what dream interpretations mean. So, I would say keep a dream journal close to your bed, or even just the voice recorder on your phone when you wake up. Just when you're in that wake up space, give remarks about what you saw in your dream or what you felt about your dream, if you can. Some people don't remember their dreams, and some people have very, very vivid dreams. It just depends. But I see it being an active time for you in that house. On the 7th or the 8th depending on where you live on the planet, we have Venus moving into your sign, Aquarius. This is your first house. This is the house of you. It's the house of your physical embodiment. It's your personality. It's your appearance and your physical body. You may be feeling yourself a little bit now from the 7th or 8th on. On the 12th or the 13th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, we're going to be experiencing a full moon in Gemini. It'll be at 22 degrees. This is occurring in your 5th house, and this is the house of romance and falling in love. It's also the house of your social life and how you seek your pleasure. It's the house of creation. If you're an artist, it's those creative endeavors that you are a part of. It can also be the house of your children. So that's a pretty broad area, big area for there to be a full moon. It'll be emotional for you because that's the house that you have skin in the game in. So just be aware. Now on the 19th or the 20th, depending on where you live on the planet, we have a couple of things going on. The first and most notable for me is Mercury will be going retrograde in your 12th house. So this is going to be a time where you get a little bit of extra emphasis placed in this 12th house. I've already spoke about what the 12th house indicates, so just pay attention. Journaling would be very, very good for you. It will help you understand things in a different light once Mercury goes direct. The second thing that'll be occurring is Mars, the planet of action, energy, impulse, and aggression, is moving into Pisces, and this is your 2nd house. So Mars moving into the 2nd house. The 2nd house is the house of your money and possessions. It's your self-esteem. It's your values. It's your earning ability. So that's an active house, or that's where you would like action to be. That's a good thing, hopefully. Now, on the 21st or 22nd, depending on where you live on the planet, we have the Sun moving into Capricorn. This, again, is your 12th house. So you've got Mercury there, and now, once the Sun moves in there, Mercury will have just started going retrograde. 12th house energy, a lot of 12th house stuff going on for you this month. The 12th house is the house of the secret enemies and secrets that you keep from yourself or from others. It's the house of self-undoing and self-limitation as well, or limitations in general. It could also be a very karmic time. So just understand that if there are secrets being kept, they may be coming out even more so closer to Christmas. Pay attention and be aware. I give you this information to empower you. On the 26th or 27th of the month, just right after Christmas, if you celebrate, it'll be December 25th, but yeah. We've got the Jupiter-Uranus opposition, and this will be going on in between your 9th and your 3rd house. The 9th house is the house of long-distance trips, adventures and questing. It's higher education. It's the study of philosophy and religion. It also speaks to astrology. It speaks to legal system matters. It also speaks to political issues as well. The 3rd house, where Uranus is short distance trips. It's dealing with siblings, cousins, and neighbors, people that are in your neighborhood that are of the same status of you as you, if you will. It's also communication, and that can be how you speak and how others speak to you, how you're interpreted or how you interpret others. It can be your communication devices, and it can also be the commute, either your vehicle or how you get to and from, the path or the route that you take. But it's an opposition going on, so there's going to be tension present between these two areas. And because it's right after Christmas, I see it being, possible arguments about who's going where and for how long for Christmas break or to visit with the family, that sort of thing. Just be aware and take extra care, because Mercury will be retrograde at this point. Pay extra special attention to your car and do the maintenance if need be. It's always good to be prepared. Now, on the 29th or the 30th of the month, depending on where you live on the planet, we will have a new moon in Capricorn, and this will be at 7 degrees. And this is once again in your 12th house. So that's a lot of 12th house energy playing out for you, Aquarius. The house of secret enemies, self-undoing, karma, limitations, repressions, dreams. I definitely suggest journaling. I think that this month will look completely different to you once Mercury goes direct. So that's the advice that I can give you astrologically. What I'm going to do is hit the pause button, shuffle, and meditate over the cards and ask for the general messages for my Aquarius friends for the month of December. And I'll be right back to show you an on-camera shuffle and move on with this reading. Hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hey, Aquarius, I'm back. I'm doing my on-camera shuffle for you now. Once again, this is a general reading for the Aquarius group. If this reading does not resonate for you, I suggest you check your rising and moon sign videos. Sometimes they are more resonant than the sun sign. Just depends. I'm also going to pull some cards from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. For this reading, I will be pulling the underlying theme or overarching energy card and doing the top 3 for clarity. For the mid-month, I'll do the longer spread. For my Aquarius friends. Okay. You had a card pop, so I'm going to cut. The bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy, and the top 3 for clarity. Also going to, like I said, grab you a couple of cards from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck that I also shuffled off camera, but I'll do a couple hand shuffles on screen for y'all. This is again for the Aquarius group for December 2016. I'm going to cut these. I'm going to take the top and the bottom card from this deck. Alright, Aquarius, I'm going to take a pause, flip these cards over, do the math, and I'll be right back with your story. Hang tight, y'all. Hey, Aquarius, I've got your cards, so let's get started. The card that popped out while I was shuffling was the 7 of Wands. The 7 at the top speaks of the 7th house on the astrological wheel. That's how I see the numerology in these cards. That is your partnerships and how you identify who you are as a person through those relationships with others. It's also counseling and dealing with open enemies. The wands represent fire sign energy. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I have a feeling you may be dealing with a Leo, and I'll give you the heads up as to that in a second. But this card speaks to defending your ground, defending your territory, defending your stance, possibly even having to debate about something. It's emotional and it's impetuous and can feel very fiery. It's probably an emotional based debate if that's the case that you're dealing with. I see this arguing or dealing with people in the mall or whatever, doing your shopping. Looking for those deals and being mad that somebody got it or something like that. And, you know, I was looking at this spread. I was talking about on the 19th and the 20th, Mars moving into Pisces, which is your second house. That's impulse in the second house as well. So it could be that you are impulse buying or reactionary spending in some way. Be careful of that. Mars in the second house can be good because it could be, you know, earning extra money and getting overtime, but it could also be spending. So understand that that's how that can play out. Now, the underlying theme or the overarching energy that I got for this spread is a major arcana card. It's the third card in the major arcana. It's the Empress. The 3 for me represents the third house, which is speaking to that, especially the Uranus side of the Jupiter-Uranus opposition, that it'll be occurring in your third house. The third house is the house of Gemini. It could speak to communication, short-distance trips, siblings, cousins, or neighbors. Also, Mercury is going to be going retrograde mid-month. The Empress is a major arcana card, represents the planet Venus, and Venus is moving into your first house, the house of Aquarius. Venus is the planet that represents love and values. It also represents harmony and beauty. It can be resources as well, money. The Empress card represents being abundant or having the abundant lifestyle, or, you know, feeling abundant or prosperous. It also speaks to the feminine principle. Could be definitely feeling yourself this month. Venus is moving into Aquarius at the very beginning of the month. Makes perfect sense on that end. But the Empress is also a productive card. She's a producer. She's able to use what is around her to make her life better in some way, using her skills or what is around her. Now, this could involve a Taurus or a Libra because Venus rules those two signs as well. We also had the House of Libra show up in that 7 of Wands card. So, just giving you as much information about this spread as I can and as many different avenues as I can. But the fact that she's in the upright, you know, as long as you pay attention to your bank account and your resources and try to get the best deal possible. And even, I mean, I could see this as trying to get somebody to price match. You know what I mean? It could be as mundane as that. But yeah, look for the best deals and you'll end up at the, you know, in the end feeling like the Empress is the best advice I can give you looking at the cards that I see. Now, the first in the top 3 for clarity is another major arcana card. It is the Strength card, and this is where I said it might involve a Leo, because there's a lion right here, and that is representative of Leo. I also see the Infinity sign, and that reminds me of Scorpio, so that may involve somebody of that duality. Maybe you're dealing with kids and one's a Leo and one's a Scorpio, or something to that effect. But like I said, I see the infinity symbol as Scorpio, and this lion is instantaneously, I think, of Leo. But whenever I see this card when I'm doing a spread for myself or a friend, I always think, have the strength to keep your damn mouth shut. because she is fighting with this beast to keep the mouth shut. Doesn't look like it's too much of a struggle. She looks like she's got more power over him, but, you know, have the strength in that way. Now, this is the 8th card of the Major Arcana. The 8 speaks to, for me, the astrological 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. But it also is the house that is dealing with other people's money. It's the house of dealing with regeneration, transformation, and metamorphosis. It also speaks to sexuality. And with Venus moving into your sign, you may be dealing with a lot of people coming at you, and you're just not in a position to where that can happen, and having the strength to deal with that. It's also the house of instincts, be them primal, basic, or instinct, or like humanistic instincts. And I also need to say that it's the house of life, death, and rebirth. So that might be the, a case for maybe just one Aquarian out there, but I had to throw that out there. Now, the Strength card as a major arcana represents the zodiac sign of Leo, and it deals with having self-confidence. And it's really speaking to using your talent. And didn't I just say that she uses either the skills that she has or the things that are around her to make her life better? This is having the strength to use your talents. Maybe a side job. That'd be cool. That would be a good way to utilize that Martian energy in the 2nd house. You know, extra money coming in on that side as opposed to spending it. But, the 2nd card is another major arcana, so it can feel like a very karmic time for you. When I see a lot of major arcana, it feels like it's the situation, you're more riding the waves than you are really able to swim against them, or, what am I trying to say? It feels like things may be happening to you as opposed to you being proactive. It may be feeling very reactionary is what I was trying to say. So, 2nd card is the 2nd major arcana, the High Priestess. The 2nd, this number 2 up here, speaks to me astrologically, the astrological house of Taurus, which is your money, your possessions, your earning ability, your self-esteem, your values. The things that you could point to and say mine would probably qualify as a 2nd house. Now, this High Priestess as a major arcana card, she's representative of the moon. Now, we're having a full moon in your 5th house. That may speak to you. The moon is also the ruling luminary of Cancer. So that may be important to you in some way. But she represents the unconscious. She represents response, and she represents feeling and intuition. It could be that you may have to listen to people vent. It may be that you need to express some sort of emotion about something that maybe happened over the Thanksgiving holiday or something. But she can also be harboring secrets. And you've got a lot of 12th house energy, and that is the house of secrets. So, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out for you. It may be that you need to have the strength to express your emotion, or the strength to express your feelings. Because sometimes you can be a little detached about that sort of thing. That's not being ugly, that's just how I know some Aquarians that are very detached emotionally. They're very emotionally intelligent, but it's a way of protecting themselves regardless. The 3rd card that I pulled for you, the final card, is the King of Cups. And this is dealing with somebody who is emotionally intelligent and is able to express emotions well. You've got just a lot of people showing up. It's like a lot of character cards. You know, it could be dealing with, you know, your sisters or your siblings. Sisters, siblings, same thing. Could be dealing with cousins. Could be dealing with your children, and you've got 3 girls that are arguing or just really giving you a hard time. But the one thing that I do think of when I see the King of Cups is the fact that he's got 2 cups in his hand. I always think of double fisting the drinks when I see this guy, because, you know, the holidays can be trying. I'm not judging. Just be careful on that end. Don't end up making a fool of yourself because you're trying to numb whatever it is that you're not wanting to deal with, if that's the case. Because, I mean, the 12th house is it's dark in the fact that it's hidden. It's those hidden recesses of the mind. You may be having somebody want to have an emotional discussion with you that maybe you've been avoiding. And that's what I see for this spread, the way that it's laid out in front of me. I mean, the King of Cups is, you know, a mature water sign. That would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You do have Mars moving into Pisces. It is, you know, I see that as Mars moving into Pisces. It's like the month starts out feeling defensive or defending your ground or arguing about something or having people come at you. But I did the math on the cards here. We had the 8 for the Strength card, 2 for the High Priestess, 3 for the Empress, and 7 for the Wands. That totaled up to be 20. 2 plus 0 is 2, and that is speaking to the house that Mars is moving into, your 2nd house. So just be very careful with the spending. I would much rather see you use the Martian energy towards either working out to benefit your self-esteem, or doing overtime at work, or doing extra odd jobs or something to get money in that 2nd house, as opposed to you spending the money, is how I would like to see it play out for you if, you know, I had my druthers. Now, for the oracle cards that I pulled for you, the first is Diving for Light. And I really see this as almost a, you know, Dark Night of the Soul card, because you have to go through some really deep waters to get through to the light. One of the first things that I think about when I see this card is that without darkness, there is no need for light. So the fact that you've probably undergone a dark time or dark times, you may just be reminiscing about it, but without that darkness, you wouldn't understand the need for light. Now, another thing is, I want you to Google seahorse symbology. That can be spirit totem or spirit animal, however you choose to Google it. But I feel like there may be messages as well for you there, because there's a lot of seahorses in this card. This card also acknowledges that there may be no justification for the situation that you've had to endure or witness or go through, but it's a calling for your empowerment through courage and bold trust. And understand that your vulnerability is a superpower for you. This card also acknowledges that it is a time of spiritual testing, and a spiritual testing it can feel like a very dark time. Now, the 11 speaks to the house that you rule on the astrological wheel. That's the 11th house, ruled by Aquarius, and that's the house of your friends, your groups, your future wishes, goals, and dreams, the bucket list that you have for yourself. You could have either experienced through a friend's life some very dark, trying, testing times, or, you know, you may have gone through it with the loss of friends or shifting of groups, or even the reassessment of your dreams or your goals. And just understanding sometimes that you have to have that pruning away of whatever isn't working for you anymore to focus on what is working for you. It can be a very sad time for some people. So be gentle with yourself when it comes to that. I pulled another card for you, and it is the 17th card of the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, and it reads, "What is already with you?" 1 plus 7 is 8, and that speaks to the Scorpio-ruled 8th house. You had an 8 show up before, so that house may be important to you. That's the house of life, death, and rebirth. It's the house of instinct, sexuality, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis, and other people's money. Whenever I see the butterflies, I think of the 8th house because they start out as one thing and they are something entirely and completely different. And I also think about the journey of that, where a caterpillar is on the ground, and by the end of their transformation, by the end of their metamorphosis, their view is completely different. They're looking from above down below. I just think it's a beautiful way to think of it. But this card acknowledges that you have what you need at hand already, and that what you seek is actually nearer than you realize. This card also acknowledges that you're more ready than you are willing to accept, and that the chapter that you're in right now can have a happy ending if you desire, but you have to remain in your authentic truth. This card also indicates that you don't need an army of resources at your disposal to make this happy ending happen either. So yeah, Aquarius, a lot of energy going through the 12th house. Embrace your authenticity. Stick with it. Understand that what you've been through has been either for you to learn something or to just make you a better person. Sometimes that can be the hardest thing to hear when you're going through hell, I know. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Aquarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I will be back for your mid-month reading closer towards the full moon. Give you a little bit more information about the full moon with that. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful, happy holiday season. And remember what it's about. Spend time with your family and your loved ones. Make memories. Those are the things that you can't necessarily buy. And those are the things that no one can take away from you. I send you many holiday greetings, and I hope that you have a blessed holiday season. Take care, Aquarius. And until next time, namaste, y'all.